Okay, you guys. I realized that I really want to continue on with this reading for Ti and Tiny, so that I will. Um, and I was not finished with my flow, so I will definitely do that. So these are some of the cards that I actually pulled off screen, which came up. Again, it's so funny. Somebody else had these cards. I'd done another reading. Somebody had the first three, but I shuffled and the same ones came out. So Ti, somewhere it feels like it's not safe for you to love, but I don't feel like it feels like it's not safe for you to love because you have some internal fear. I feel like you may. I feel like the block is that being fully in love to a certain extent and making certain things, certain commitments in a relationship, just the honor, just the regular ones that should be made, feels like you may feel compromised in the eyes of, I hear gangster, like it's not what a gangster does, that type of thing. And this is why the universe is taking you eventually away from these people. And this is why the universe is like closing doors, like where certain stuff used to work, it's not working anymore and stuff like that. So, I mean, as you do, it's very funny because you have to let the friends help you and your children down here. So I can see that actually your children are the ones, the vehicles who are helping you move this process a little bit longer to really not only just recognizing, because you know this, that this is a true love, but it's about you recognizing it, like acknowledging it, that is a true love and it's safe for you to love. And as you totally can still be 100% of man in this relationship. I'm not laughing. I know I laugh, but it's not that I'm laughing. Um, there's this reconciliation, which is really, really good. But there is this issue of deception. And I do believe your children are going to start calling you out on it. So there's that as well. Let's just take a look at a couple of other things. I wanted to make sure I did finish this reading for you. I know I said that already. I'm just being repetitive here. This reminds me of your daughter, Deja, for whatever reason. Just kind of that look on this woman's face here. This look on this woman's face reminds me of Deja. If Deja is watching this and you feel insulted, please know it's coming from a very good place and with 100% good intentions. The cards that come out are the media cards. Again, this is like your piece, Ti, is like, public appearances, but the thing is that's so funny is that, like you're on this family show and people love it. Just like, so grateful that you guys did this show and have been like a positive influence with this show, the way people were so very grateful that Rev Run did his show and it was just like a great family show. And it's like you came in and picked up the torch or picked up the baton and took it and ran with it. And it's okay to see you as a true family man, but that you can really hold a loving relationship and be totally and emotionally in love while still maintaining 100% of your individuality. When I say individuality, I mean your manhood, like looking like what a man looks like, there's this thing about gratitude as well, and that is why I was saying this thing about this spiritual beatdown is on its way, and Ti, you may be a tough dude, but your arms are too short to box with God, as they say. You will get beat down. I'm telling you. It is because the principle energetically misbuilding when you know what needs to go on and the gifts in front of you. And it's about this gratitude thing that's not being, um, I keep getting a whole bunch of cards for you. Okay. there's a whole bunch of them that don't want to stop. So there's this whole thing. First of all, let me just go back to the gratitude thing. Um, it's not that you aren't grateful in general, but it's this thing of not walking in a level of authenticity of love and being able to defend that to the world, let's say, or just by standing on your own ground about who you are as a married man, and a married man who's faithful and in love. You know, you don't have to entertain these other people, and you don't have to do these parties anymore to, sort of fit the bill or whatever. Your music is going to speak for you. And I think what's happening is now that I think that people are kind of moving to this thing where they don't need people who are 20 years old, and everything doesn't have to be about the party for you to still be successful. Maybe I'm aging myself in saying that. God, I hope not. But I feel like some people are moving forward toward that as far as entertainment is concerned. You still have that, those issues. But, your family is where, dude, I feel like, you know what? I feel like, Ti, you can't even really create the way you need to because you're out of your element with your family. You need to go home. You need to go home. You allow yourself to receive this true love and don't move away from it. If there's some fear or something involved, although I don't really see fear here. I don't see fear, you know, um, and all of that. But this journey to returning to this new level of authenticity, it's not saying that you're fake, but there's this authenticity of really allowing yourself and your relationship to be reflected in the world the way it is, truly authentic. I hope that makes sense, because I know you're not, you could possibly respond and be like, everybody knows that I love, I'm gonna sound like you. Everybody knows that I love Tiny. It's more than that. It's a lot more than that. It's about an authenticity of showing up 100% in the relationship too. Um, Pushing those boundaries. I would really suggest some, not only I feel like you guys could use counseling, which you may already kind of be doing. I don't know if I see that necessarily, but I think workshops would be really great where you're actually doing couples exercises, like physical exercises together, like a little bit of acro yoga together and stuff like that. Like, and you're building this level of trust, and you're in each other's spaces, and you have to kind of work together. It's a very, 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 to me, could be an extremely effective way to like bring a extra level of trust and closeness between a couple, and at the least, just a lot of fun and laughs. So here's the whole thing. When you do this and you allow yourself to receive this beautiful family, the whole array for what it really is, you're going to be in authenticity. You're going to avoid this spiritual beatdown. It is on its way, Ti. I tell you, don't care to listen, let it happen. They're saying let go of the BS, and there is this a constant opportunity for reconciliation. I feel like you guys are have reconciled on more of a higher level, not fully the earth plane level, but like you're together, like, let's say, if this is the third dimension, you're together in the fifth dimension or sixth dimension, something like that. That might sound a little strange to you guys, but spiritually, you guys are together. But here in the earth plane, because of the ego and stuff, you're not fully in sync. And Ti, it's all coming from your side. There's this deception. There's about this mask, about these roles you have to play, about this part you have to play in the world, and you don't. Like, people celebrate you high and beyond for the strength of your family. And I tell you, you're one of the greatest examples of a man not relinquishing his power while being in love with a woman, and really leading a wonderful family. And I think that is some of what the journey is. And I think, perhaps I can't speak because I'm not a man, but I will assume that sometimes these things are a little bit convoluted to be able to do, because there are so many examples of the opposite, let's say, at the moment, even though there are plenty of other amazing men who are leading their families, and being great leaders in within their families and stuff. There's still like a little bit, it's a little bit, deficient. So there's this whole deception thing that's in the way. All of these cards are really beautiful. You have so much help, you have so much love, you have so much safety and love and certainty and love, but there's this deception card. It's about the mask. It's about, feeling like you have a role to play. It's like feeling like it's not even, it's getting to be more like, what I'm seeing is not even a compromise toward compromising yourself toward Tiny. It's about you feeling like you're compromising yourself toward the world, by taking this to a new level or something. There's something there. I'm not going to dig hard because I would have to go into your, and like, I'll have to focus on you to do it. And I don't believe in doing that in readings where I really don't know the person. So I'm just dealing with the available energy here. But let's just see really quickly, Ti, what may come forth, what you may be willing to share here in this reading, your higher self, that will not be intrusive. Okay, those who are with a little bit of attitude. Okay. Again, okay, what I see here is, again, it's some of the appetites that you have, but I believe that if some of the belief systems you were to change about power, these appetites would die down. This appetite for being out there, this appetite for conquering, because you have been a warrior, a well-accomplished warrior, a king in other lifetimes. So to me, it's like, when you carry that kind of energy, you're sort of still in that paradigm. You've known it for a long time. So there's this real authentic part of you that just authentically also needs to be broken off. And that's this thing also, it's a level of conquering, it's a level of that there. But the universe overall, your entire life cycle, your entire soul mission cycle, this warrior thing is coming, it's really coming to a close because they want you to learn conquering on another level. And it's a different word once it moves up into a higher level of consciousness. It's more like, I'm getting where it's like transformation, global transformation, global assistance in global ascendance. And this is where you have to be next. See, there is this thing about ascending as well. And you're going to notice, like, it's about raising out of this root chakra thing too. You have like root chakra. I don't know if you know about the chakra energies, but the root chakra is all about safety, protection, all of those things. So, you've had so many lifetimes with this and you've mastered it. It's definitely, there's nowhere to go but up. And it's kind of like you're on that level. You've reached a level, like, just picture like a Donkey Kong level. You can't go any other way but climb up that ladder. And you're not doing it. You're kind of running back around the same floor with this, and then running down to the lower floors. Like, after a while, you're not even allowed to run down to the lower floors, as I remember. And so there's no way to go but up. And you haven't been doing that yet because there's still like a little bit of stuck in the old energy, but they're telling you that it's about this final thing about shifting, this thing about what determines power, what determines you being viewed as powerful. Some of these things on this earth plane are obviously false. They're illusions that people have sort of embedded into societal beliefs, let's say, is the mass beliefs, but your purpose is a lot higher. So this is why it's starting like in your family and stuff. And dude, I'm telling you, with all of this going on, with all of it being so universal, I'm telling you, spiritual beatdown is on the way if you do not really sit down and get a hold of your demons. It's meant for you to set an example as being a man in love who still retains a high amount of power. Okay, that's what it is. Also, there's this real big global thing you're supposed to be doing, and you don't have time to fuck around, as they say. Light workers, because there's a lot to do. You have a lot of ideas, I think, that you hold back as well. I feel like you could write a book. You have a lot of ideas. You could write a book for boys, children, you know? But there's also this thing I overheard you talking about your daughter giving away her sugar. And when you give away your sugar, you don't have any more left, which is this sort of whole thing about a girl losing value in the end. Hear me out. Hear me out. Just take a deep breath in. Hear me out. When you say a young woman gives away her sugar and gives it away and there's not much left, then you're saying once she gives it out, she's not worthy. As opposed to saying you are a worthy being and that the choices that you make should be with people who command that, who can see you as value at all times, and who don't mistake you as something like sugar that can be taken off a shelf and put back on a shelf. I understand where you were coming from. I'm not trying to make you wrong here or anything like that. I'm not trying to make myself right. But that is also an example of some of the last paradigms that are going to be removed one way or another. Either they're going to beat you down and beat that out of you, or you're going to realize the signs which are happening right now and take them. So when you flip that sugar thing over to the masculine side, this is more so of what we're talking about. That sugar principle. When you flip it over to the masculine side, how masculine is viewing a feminine. Oh, how's she giving out? How much sugar has she given out? Let me get out my measuring stick. Stuff like that. And I've got so much value because I have my wife, nobody else gets her sugar, and if somebody has had her sugar or been with her or is able to claim that they even smell what her sugar looks like or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That takes away from my manhood. So the whole principle, that whole matrixy paradigm thing of, placing value and devaluation on a woman's vagina, that's dead. And how you gain power based on a woman's vagina and who she gives it to and who she doesn't and who's not allowed to access it. They're telling you these things are dead and they're stupid fucking distractions that you don't need to be bothered with because your purpose is so much higher here. Please rewind back when I talked to you about the conquering thing, and listen to that over again, like whatever I said 5 minutes ago. I want to go into hardcore energies, and I want to go into Ti, there's something else you're supposed to be doing, and I heard kind of like book, like there's some kind of book. There's a series, you've been dealing with this for a really long time. There's like a massive amount of ideas that you have just kept it only in your head. I don't think you've even discussed them kind of like with Tiny even too much. I think there's this thing of being afraid to be smart. And you're not afraid of anything, but you don't like compromise. And so you freeze it out. It is time for you to take total power in this expression. Like, it's here. This is part of your mission. And again, when it comes to people who are doing light work, you don't have time to fuck around. I will take that to heart myself as well. So they're talking about moonlighting. They're saying it's being said that you can actually, this wants to stay out. It's being said that you can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. I don't know if this is acting. I don't know if this is writing some kind of children's book. There is some book in you. I know that. And it's not for you. It's not about your life. There's that book too, but this is about helping children somehow. I would encourage you to also take a look at, Jocko Willink, a guy who he does the jujitsu, and he's got an amazing podcast. He's got this amazing, it's an amazing clip called "Good," and just Google it, Jocko Willink "Good." It's like 2 minutes long. Then it will just make your blood like it just lights a fire in you. It's just crazy. Not that you need that, but my whole point is he wrote this book about the child warrior or something like that. There's something like that kind of book about having children recognize honest and authentic strength in themselves while not usurping it from others, that I think is something that you will be of great lending to your brilliance and all these things. So there's this other moonlighting thing. I don't know if it's like more acting or whatever. It's something you want to do that you feel like there's a lot of this whole thing about being compromised is a thing that is holding back a lot of your creativity, And I saw down here before it said blocks lifted on your creativity. It's saying here, pay attention to your dreams. There's stuff that you want to do that you feel isn't conventional, isn't gangster code. That shit needs to go. Trust me, you will get so much more respect. Don't think that Bill Gates and Steve Jobs didn't get you respect for being like doing nerd stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so it's time for you to view it that way. Just even if you want to use a bit of a pen name, but I say don't. Just get in there and create and create and create, and don't allow people to judge you, because there's so much and it's just sitting in your head for years now, and it's almost like wanting to burst to get out, and you need to just honor that. Let's see if we can pull another card for you, and then I'm going to pull some energetic cards, and I'm going to close reading out. There's something about releasing resentments about money. You'll know what that's about. I don't really know. I don't get a hit, and I think it's because it's something more private. But it says, yes, the money system of the world can seem upsetting, but holding resentments about finances just pushes your abundance away. Instead, see money as a tool you can use to better the world. And this shift will help you attract support and golden opportunities. I also think that this is like something about the vulgarity with which the devaluation of Black people, and how the buying of shoes. This has been a conversation for a long time. The buying of Jordans. I'm not shouting out Jordan or anything in a negative way. The buying of cars, the buying of this, hood rich, hood rich, that whole thing, to make up for the devaluation by society overall, the rejection, is something that they want you to release. They're saying it's a fallacy, it's false, it's a false story. You prove it yourself, period, with what you've been able to attain in this country, no matter what kind of experience people try to impose on you to create this condition and this false condition for you to feel that some of your divinity has been compromised, that you are 100% divine, as you already well know that. And so it's that whole paradigm when they're talking about releasing resentments around money. So finally, what I want to talk about is, I'm going to give you a truth bomb too. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. I want to see what kind of energy you're in, T.I. The leadership card came out. Period. There's this patience card, and then what else? I like to pull these cards for spiritual transformation. I don't use these cards much, but I find they're pretty useful. So 2 fell out. Effort and physical activity. Okay. So I don't know how much you work out, although you seem very thin. Not I'm not saying that in a bad way, by the way. Oh my God, not saying that. I'm not saying that. In fact, I think you have a great. I feel like what I really personally admire about you is how much your strength and your confidence is more than confidence. Like how much is depicted in your posture. I think your posture is amazing. Most people don't feel that comfortable in their skin to have that kind of posture, but I feel like your posture is really awesome, and I do notice that quite a lot. So, all right, so here we go. Leadership. Like I said, you don't have time to F around. And this is positive leadership. You've done all of what you've done. There's this thing about physical activity. Again, I get this thing about sexual activity for you as well. Um, there's definitely one side of this, and definitely that kind of needs to be phased out. And I believe certain things will be phased out when your belief system and your definitions of what it means to be a man and what it means not to compromise manhood. Once you really start shifting that, then the physical activity in that sector, um, as far as the unproductive stuff, unproductive physical sexual activity, that unproductive side of it will go away. This does not mean you're going to be a monk. I'm getting a hit as well that I think tantric sex, sacred sexuality with your true life partner, Ti, is something that would be amazing for the both of you. Anyway, so effort as well. This is talking about effort in the family. It means being a little more willing to see past your own barriers and demons to really see, like, putting yourself in this person's position. If I were her, would I even want to allow this kind of treatment? And that's what you should, unbridled, ruthless, brutal truth, and break down those demons within. Patience with yourself. As long as you're doing your best, trying your best every single day, like honestly trying your best, it's going to be great. So this is one of the biggest things. The leadership, I'm telling you, dude, you're gonna experience a beatdown, a spiritual beatdown. It's coming. It's all through these cards. Like they're saying, leadership was the first card that came out. It's time to lead in a higher capacity, much higher capacity, and forget about these gangster stuff that will die off. Your impact in the community will cause a paradigm shift, and you'll understand with that Six of Wands, the card with the balloon on it, you will be at the top, tippy top, being respected with a lot of attention in this new way. You don't need to be afraid of it. You probably had a couple of dreams about it too, but I'm not going to go into your more personal things. So we have blame. That's some of the stuff that lies within your energy. Patience, again, it's upside down. I usually don't read cards upside down. When they come in upside down, that means the spirit is working hard, because I don't take cards upside down. So you know what patience means when it's upside down, right? And that's the second time you've gotten it. And that's over this reconciliation, and that's about what it's going to cost to reconcile. The thing is that you are dealing with a lot of regrets. But there's still something that's holding you back. And like I said, you're feeling okay. You're doing the shakes, you're getting the fevers, you're eating the poison. It's good for now, but here's the thing. If you continue on with this, you understand your partner has now moved into a place of personal power, where she's not allowing this, she's communicating, she's not allowing for things to not be acknowledged in her energetic field. So you understand that vibrationally, you're making yourself not a match to her. So what's happening is she's now acknowledging more of herself. So she's opening up herself for someone who is walking a straight line to come in energetically. Okay, I heard you say no, but you can't fight the flow. Okay. The only way you could deal with it is to step into reconciliation 100%. Okay. And to deal with taking full on responsibility. Okay. That's real talk, and I love you. That's just why I'm sitting here doing this reading, like breaking it down the way I am, is because I love you and I believe in you, and you need to take your ass home. Because that's where the truth is. And it's not a woman thing, it really isn't. The only part of women that comes into this is that I can understand some of the language, but your life partner, she didn't hardly come up in this reading. Do we need to go there, Ti? Go home. Or else, and when I see this regret card, I do see someone coming in who is an amazing partner, who's going to be somebody new, who's going to acknowledge her, who's going to treat her like a queen. I already see her feet getting massaged. I just already see some stuff. So understand that you're stepping out of matching her vibration, and that she's made a transformation. So it's not that she wants to move on. She would prefer not to. She would prefer to have a lifelong partnership with you, because it makes sense. And that's really what's supposed to be. But you're going off your fucking timeline, and you're going to get a spiritual beatdown. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah. So there's this call for balance, and, balance and acknowledging your imagination, like your health is being affected, and again, the humor card is coming up. Like, you take things a little too serious. And you need to bounce off your back if people are like, you ain't no man, like, I just feel like it's that. And it's you've grown so far past that, like, but it's still affecting you. That is my opinion. Yeah, that's it. I was going to say something else. If it's something different, it's something different, but I believe that's accurate. So Ti, that is basically it. I'm going to give you a truth bomb. Celebrating you is recognizing who you really are. Celebrating who you really are. Not who you are based on not compromising. All right, so let's see. Hold on. Just trying to organize these up. As you can see, I don't allow the cards to go in upside down, even though these don't matter. Only for the sake of order. So I'm going to pull one for Ti. You can't make this up. You saw me out of this big ass pile pull one card. Actually, I pulled two, but what does it say? I'm not even going to read it. Okay. Just don't pay attention to my nails right now. You know what I'm saying, Ti? That's probably what I'm going to name this video. All right, nothing more to be said. Sending you so much love. Please call Kanye when you have a moment. He really needs somebody to help ground him. Don't leave Kanye and then go make I'm checking you a little bit only because I love you like a brother. I admire you. Don't leave Kanye and then go make a video with in the president's office. Don't abandon Kanye. He needs your help, and you would be an amazing person to help him ground. I know that he's probably exhausting, but he means well. I know he said some really dumb stuff, but remember, he's suffering with some mental condition, emotional stuff too, from his mom passing. So I want to see how you're gonna show up for Kanye. It's not talking about that, but it is talking about gratitude again. All right. But when you get a chance, after you stabilize everything in your life, your family life, and Snoop too. I am so fucking mad at Snoop. I am really upset with Snoop. Calling Kim Kardashian a bitch and all this. Like, I'm very, like, really, Snoop, you're like 45, 46 years old. Like, really? And again, that's putting valuation on a woman's vagina. You know, I don't care what personal choices she makes. That's another conversation. And I don't want you to get triggered by that. So I'm going to stop talking. But it's time to reconcile and go home, and really, really, you know, acknowledge the blessings more than ever, you know. Not just by providing for the household is what the universe is telling you, and not being pressured indirectly to hold back your brilliance because other people are living in the mud and they're trying to keep you down as well. You're not a man, you're not this, you're not that. You want to do what? I feel like you're caught up in that, and that needs to go. All right, Ti, sending love, sending support. Um, Anybody who's watching this video, if you felt really helped, definitely this channel takes donations. Just hit up the description box below. There's also readings that I do, personal readings. You can feel free to contact me there. I don't know why I need to say this, but Ti, if you want a personal reading, we will do this. We'll go into your energy, although this is really basically what it is. All right, have a good one and be well. Bye-bye.